Hello everyone and welcome back to Dungeons & Death Battles, the series where we search for the most lethal monster in all of Dungeons & Dragons. Rules are simple, it's arena combat, combatants start 30 feet from each other, there's no fleeing, and it's a battle to the death. Today on the card we have a great matchup with plants versus zombies, kicking off with the Needle Blight taking on the titular zombie. So without further ado, let's roll in for some initiative. We've got the zombie coming in first. And that is a 17 with a -2 on that initiative roll for 15. Still a very respectable roll there from the zombie. And the Needle Blight is going to come through next. It's +1, unfortunately not doing anything to a roll of a natural 1, meaning that the zombie is going to go first. And the zombie is going to take the only option it's got, and it is going to dash towards that Needle Blight, using its full 40 feet to get into melee range. The Needle Blight is, of course, going to be none too happy about this, and is going to take a claw attack straight out of the gate against the zombie, see what it can do. And that is a 12 +3, which is going to cleave through the zombie's AC of 8. Let's roll him some damage, which is 2d4 +1. There's a 3 and a 2 for 5, +1 for 6, bringing that zombie from 22 hit points down to 16. The Needle Blight is then going to use its 30 feet of movement to try and get out of melee range with the zombie, and it is going to take an opportunity attack as the zombie slaps after it, and that's an 8 +3 for 11, which is not going to hit the Needle Blight. That does, however, mean that the zombie is once again going to have to dash towards the Needle Blight, using again its full 40 feet to close that gap. Needle Blight once again none too pleased about this, and it is going to throw in with some claws. And a 4 +3 for 7 is not going to cut it, and the battle continues. The Needle Blight once again trying to pull away from the zombie as it does everything it can to escape. So we've got that opportunity attack once again from the zombie, and that is a 9 +3, which this time does equal 12, and that is going to be a hit. So let's roll in for some damage. Got a 1d6 +1. That'll be 3 +1 for 4, and that will take the Needle Blight down to just 7 hit points. But once again, the zombie is going to close that gap. And it doesn't look like there's many places left for that Needle Blight to run to. And the creature is going to try a different strategy this time. It's going to move away first, again, invoking that opportunity attack from the zombie, which again with a 10 +3 is going to beat the armor class of 12. So we're going to roll in for some more zombie damage. And once again, a 3 +1 for 4, which is going to knock the Needle Blight down to 3 hit points. It is not looking good for the barky competitor. However, the Needle Blight has made its move away and is now going to roll in with a Needles attack. This is more its bread and butter, so let's see what it can do with it. And that is a huge crit. That is a big natural 20 there with the needle attack. So we're going to be rolling in 2d6 +1, of course, doubling the damage on those dice. So we've got 2d6 coming in hot, and that is a 5 and a 1 for 6, doubling up to 12 +1 for 13 damage. Huge hit from the Needle Blight there. And that, of course, brings the zombie down to just 3 hit points. However, the zombie is going to answer this by once again dashing forth into melee range, where once again, unfortunately, it doesn't have much more to say and leaves itself open to once again another Needle Blight claw attack, which it is going to make. And that is an 11 +3 for 14, which once again hits the zombie, so let's get some damage in. And again, this time with the claws, 2d4 +1 piercing damage. And that is 2 2s for 4 +1 for 5, which is going to reduce the zombie to 0 hit points. But as it drops, we remind ourselves that the zombie does have the Undead Fortitude ability, which means that if damage reduces the zombie to 0 hit points, it must then make a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 5 plus the damage taken. Unless, of course, the damage is radiant or from a critical hit, which unfortunately neither of those apply for the Needle Blight this time. On a success, the zombie drops to 1 hit point instead. So in this instance, with 5 damage having been dealt, that makes the DC of this roll a 10. So let's see what the zombie can do. It has a +3 to Constitution. So rolling in with a 6 +3 for 9 means it does not beat that DC of 10. And the zombie is down and out, meaning that the Needle Blight is going to progress through to the next round of Dungeons and Death Battles. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this battle of plants versus zombies, and I hope you'll join me again next time as we continue our search for the deadliest Dungeons and Dragons monster with the cockatrice taking on the dust method.